Hello, I'm Peter French, wanting to talk to you about management. An entrepreneur may be the catalyst, producing the seminal moment when a company is conceived. But unless you have a competent manager, you'll never get past the first set of birth challenges. Management competencies take the values and vision of an enterprise and an entrepreneur, the future state, and build the repeatable quality and quantity systems, which you could read is the steps to get there. So either you take off your entrepreneurial hat and descend to the management level, and we've seen plenty of frustrated entrepreneurial leaders chucking in the towel right here, or you hire or you partner with a competent manager. In our view, that is more important than getting walking on water technicians to design, build, and sell your idea. Quantification, orchestration, and innovation, the work of a manager. Management competencies. Would you take your best technician, or your most trustworthy friend, or maybe even a family member into this key position of a manager? If you could trust them with your life, well, maybe. If they were the cheapest and most dependable resources that you could find or afford, well, maybe. If they could produce technical work of the highest quality, well, yes, maybe. Surely these types should be fully engaged employees. They should work like slaves, or be able to manage people who are filling their old position to deliver to the highest level, as they used to deliver. It is true that if they've delivered well in the process, they are a source of knowledge that can help to define that process, to quantify. By defining the process, you help others to deliver the expected outcomes from that position. However, to manage people in that process or system requires a specific skill. The consequences of such a move is that you lose your star, you can fill in the name, but you could gain an incompetent manager. Managers do the following. Amongst many, their competencies is the ability to turn your values and vision into a plan, which they could deliver through time. To lead the technicians in the team to greater personal achievement through employee development. To organize themselves or others by owning the entrepreneurial organogram to develop, monitor, and measure position outcomes. To control the delivery of the systems in the organization, to produce repeatability, quality, and quantity against benchmark metrics. So, they are actually creating the systems of success, the application, which, by the way, are a terrifically important and valuable asset as you build your legacy. They have to be also very involved in the stuff of delivery. They are the fulcrum around which everybody circles as they produce the ability to implement. So, how do they operate? An MBA teaches these 4 steps. But here I want to ask, do you monitor these things in your managers? Do you use them as competencies in hiring? Does your sales manager blame the economy, the stupid salespeople, or any other reason for missing targets, which is always beyond their control? If the process or system they manage is not optimal, are they doing these 2 aspects of management? If not, why not? Hiring on some previous successful history, or using the best interview, or they went to our old schools, so let's hire them. Or look, their eyes are not too close together. Let's go. is probably the worst criteria for making a selection. Entrepreneurial leaders demand your outcomes. In another video on implementation, we'll go into some depth about the how of building the system or process. But I want to look at one aspect in particular, because it is very important in our relationship with your enterprise and your managers that report to you. As you can see from the notes, there are 3 personas that make a business system work. But each have a dynamic which either helps delivery or hinders it, producing sometimes religious wars and very serious political infighting. This is the anatomy of a single step within a system or process. Just stick with the concept for now, as I want to make a few telling points. Somebody is given a job, a task to do, either by the entrepreneurial leader to the manager or the manager to the technician. They are given resources to do this task, from the mundane like a pencil to fill in a message slip, pink slip, to the necessary, a working phone, and a quiet environment in which to answer that phone. Documentation, either coming into the task to initiate the task or created in the task, has to be defined, stored, and governed. And now the golden bullet. Unless you define your expectations of what they must deliver in this task, they will deliver what makes them comfortable, what they did before in a previous job, or just enough to stay out of trouble. To have engaged employees that deliver your expectations, which could be based on what you think your customers will define as professional, you need to define, document, and articulate the expectations or experience, and then and only then can you know if the task is being performed to your value and vision, delivering your brand promise in a consistent and satisfying way. Interpersonal angst and misunderstandings go away. Employees deliver to a standard and are satisfied by their delivery, and the customer perceives consistent value and satisfaction. The direct outcome of pluck, planning, leading, organization, and control, is an organization structure that is focused on delivering repeatability, quality, and quantity. But the manager is not finished. You cannot measure or innovate a process without it being quantified. Much like a music score. The notes have to be written down, and then the players have to be rehearse their parts, and then they are brought together. Finally, the manager conducts the team to produce beautiful music. The music score is the outcomes document, the music for each of the instruments that are playing, the thing that sits behind the position or the job description. You might hire based on the job description, but you manage to the standard operating procedure, the SOP, or the music score. This major deliverable by a manager is the single most discernible critical success factor in enterprises that work. Attract premium valuations and allow the entrepreneur to extract themselves from the chaos of everyday life, to work on their business rather than in the chaos of them. So, what's next? Have you come to the conclusion that your next survival step is to place your enterprise on a stable management footing? Is that a valid deployment to address what may be your concerns? The enterprise is doing okay, but it could do better. The enterprise is in trouble and has hit a glass ceiling. Something's got to give. We didn't mind being a mom and pop show and staying small, but we think there's place to grow. I'm tired of the past of being paid last and hustling to meet everybody else's expectations. I'm tired of being a prisoner, not of your enterprise creation, but of the job I've created. So go to our site and download the book for free or engage with us. Firstly, by using our pro bono diagnostic to deliver and define how our hypothesis of value could be deployed to build your desired outcomes.